Hello, hello, everyone. Hi, Katrina and Netta. A few Facebook users here. Hi, Nicole and Bobby and Tarsha. Welcome back to the Hormone Balancing Challenge. How are you guys doing today? Are we doing well? Let me see in the comments. Yes, Alicia, welcome. Andrea, good day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is it going? Andrea, I can't tell if you're responding that your day's been good. There you go. Hello, Lucretia. Hi. Tarsha, you're doing well. Good to hear that. Nicole, you know what? I'm doing quite well. And I'm glad you all are too. So yes. So I see a couple of Facebook users' usernames. Okay, so please head on over to streamyard.com/Facebook to be able to enter your information or click and give us permission to be able to see your names. Okay, Katrina, hey. So go ahead over. So if you're here, go to streamyard.com/Facebook and just click that button that says go ahead and join and share your name, okay? So very good. We're going to have a very, very good conversation today. We're talking about day 3 of the challenge, Hormone Balancing Challenge, giving you, good job, Alicia. Yes, we can see you. I hate something green today. Good job, Alicia. You know, we celebrate all of these wins, whether small or great. And listen, you ate some greens today. I am proud of you. I'm happy for you. So good job. Excellent. And so this is how we make small little changes over time so that the bigger picture becomes a little bit more great, right? So you keep trying. Leanda, hi. Good to see you. So welcome on in. And so, yeah, so we're going on with our challenge today, talking about how to balance your hormones and the things that you can do, okay, to make things a little bit better. And so as we start, so in general, I hope you're ready with your notes and ready to go. And so let's take our nice big breath together here, okay? And so close your eyes, relax your body, relax your shoulders, relax your elbows, and take a nice deep breath in with me. And let's count to 4. So let's take a nice deep breath in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. And shake it all off. Okay. And so I'm excited about our conversation today. Sheena, hello from North Carolina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so good to see you. And so, yeah, come on in. We're talking today about the next step. But before that, remember what we talked about yesterday. We talked about how important protein is to balancing your hormones. One of the key macronutrients that you need to incorporate in your diet so that you can go ahead and balance your hormones, okay? And don't forget your carbs, okay? If you're trying to balance your hormones, a keto diet is not going to be the way to do that. Okay. That is not the way. That is not what we want to do. We want to incorporate those carbs, but the right kind of carbs. And so if you missed our session yesterday, you can always go ahead and get caught up so you can see the videos. This is on the Facebook group. You can see them on YouTube. And so you can go back and watch. And if you have questions, be sure to kind of drop a comment, share your thoughts. Share your wins. Just like Alicia had some greens today, go ahead and share that information for the group so that we can help each other and uplift each other and celebrate each other as well. Okay, so wonderful. In today's session, we're talking about avoiding the slippery slope. Okay, and so we're going to dive into what that really means. This is probably one of my most favorite things to talk about and teach about and to try to make adjustments to, only because for me, this was one of the last things or one of the most recent realizations that I've had when we think about this entire strategy and this entire journey. So on day 1, we talked about reclaiming your body. We talked about getting rid of the excess hormones that are just hanging around in your system, completely keeping your body trapped. And yesterday, we talked about the things that you can eat and the things that you can do to help to encourage normal hormone production. And so today, we're talking about the things that you can do to make change around your environment. And so a lot of the things today may be of news to you. You might be a little bit surprised and unsure, or this might be just news to you. And if that's the case, please share. Let's talk and learn together, and you'll see how your environment plays such a huge part in who we are as people and how our hormones are being produced and how they function. And so today we're giving away 3 different sets of prizes. And so stay tuned throughout the entire session. We'll have lots of giveaways today. And so I can see everybody's name. Well, I see another Facebook user here. Whoever just said awesome, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. And so with your name not being shown, if you can please head on over to streamyard.com/Facebook. Just open up another tab, go over to that link and give permission for us to see your names. Because like I said, we have lots of prizes today. And so for you to be able to be eligible for these, we need to see your name. Okay. So go ahead and hover and do that for me. Okay. So lots of stuff, lots of giveaways. And so yes, avoiding the slippery slope. Okay. And so what this is overall the big title for the day, but what we're really talking about is avoiding hormone disruptors. Okay. And so if you look at this, it's hormone disruptors, it's endocrine disruptors. Any of these things together represent the same thing. These are hormones that are around us in our environments. Okay. Yes, you have every single person who's here today. You have hormones and things that are mimicking your hormones everywhere around you, in your homes, at work. If you're in school, you have disruptors everywhere, even where you're sitting right now at this moment. And we're going to talk about that and why it's important for you to almost eliminate those things as best as you can. Okay. I see another person, Facebook user. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Please head on over to streamyard.com/Facebook so we can see your name, okay? So we can connect with you. So go ahead and do that for us, please. And so let's dive in to what this hormone disruption is all about. All right. So did you know you are using products in your home every day that are destroying your reproductive system? the crazy part about this is that most of this is completely new. It's not something you've ever heard about before. And so we're doing small things every day around us that are hurting and destroying our system. And we weren't even aware of it, completely oblivious to it, because nobody talks about this stuff. Nobody teaches about it. This literally, when we're taking biology 101 in school, high school, this literally should be somewhere in a chapter, even if it's the last chapter of that book, really needs to be incorporated, because who we are, how we live, from the day that we were in the womb, from the placenta that is developed somewhere around your 8th, 9th week of pregnancy, all the way up until you're done with your lifetime, your legacy, everything is over and you hit the grave. We are influencing those hormones every single day and didn't even know it. Who we are today is influenced by the things that our mothers did when we were in the womb, when we were little tiny little embryos developing in the beginning of pregnancy, all the way up until now, but we did not know. And the sad thing about this is that America, the FDA, allows for a lot of these chemicals and problems to be incorporated all around us and literally not do anything about it. The system and the government is not blocking these chemicals from being used in our products. They're not blocking the chemicals in our foods. They're not blocking what manufacturers are doing to any degree. If you go to other countries, you'll see that most of the chemicals that are allowed in the United States are not allowed. They can't even enter into any kind of products or structure or anything being built or made in other countries, but we allow those things here. And so it is really up to us individually to advocate for ourselves, learn, educate ourselves, and make change in our lives the best way we can. We're not going to be perfect, and sometimes it costs money, and it's completely understandable and reasonable to know that we can't necessarily invest in do as much as we probably want to, but we should start somewhere to make that change. And so we're going to talk about that today. And so these chemicals that are in our surroundings, in our homes, in everything that we do, they're affecting our growth from every single cell in your body. We have so many cells, and they have important jobs every single day. If you think about the fact that your heart has been beating since 5 weeks of pregnancy, right? Before you were even born, and it's still working every single day. Your brain is working nonstop, doesn't take a break. Your liver and your kidneys and your lungs, they're constantly working for us. And if we are taking in all these chemicals that are hurting our organs, our being, our cells, over time, our development will change. Our metabolism will change. And sometimes we wonder again, why are we not getting to our goal weight? Why are we not feeling energetic? Why are we not being able to have regular cycles and to be able to have a child without any assistance and help and medications? Why do I feel the way I do? And a lot of this is linked with the things that are in our surroundings. And so the problem here is that these chemicals, they are synthetic, meaning that they're man-made. These are things that we can easily prevent the usage of. And again, if the FDA really wanted to, they could really prevent these chemicals from being used in all the items that we use around us, but they don't. Okay. And so some of these chemicals are in the plastics around us, the fragrances, and they mimic what your hormones would normally do internally. That means your estrogens are working. They have a very important job. These chemicals around us mimic and look exactly like the estrogens and progesterones and the testosterones, the hormones that are most important to our being. They mimic them. And once they get into our system, whether it's by us breathing, tasting them, touching them, they enter into our system and they take control. And so when they're mimicking what our bodies would normally do internally, this leads to a complete disruption because they mimic them, but they can't function like them. And so because of that, we suffer. And we don't know we're suffering, honestly, at times until we feel the symptoms of hormone imbalance. And so we're exposed to them daily, and we're very vulnerable to them. The younger we are, the more vulnerability exists. And so if you have young children, they're being affected by them the most. As adults, we are too, because the changes that happen as a child will carry over into an adult problem and conditions. And sometimes we wonder why we have these random diagnoses and these random problems, and we're showing up with medical problems that are rare and just different. That's because of our exposures when we're in the utero and as young children growing up. And that affects us for life. And so very, very important that we are aware of this. And this is where I say, listen, spread the news. Spread the news to other people, share this information to other people, educate each other. So again, we can empower each other, uplift each other, and make change, that we can all be elevated together to a better place. And we can do this as long as we support each other. So please share this information, okay? So what happens is that when you have an excess exposure to all these chemicals around us in our inner workings, in our homes, in our closest areas, we can see a lot of changes on when it comes to health outcomes, okay? And by that, I'm really referring to all of the physical changes that happens internally because of these chemicals. And so I have a few things listed here, and by all means, I can probably list at least 60 or 70 different diseases, problems, symptoms that are a direct cause are caused by these chemicals around us. But here are some. So alterations in sperm and egg quality. Okay. So that means if you're struggling to get pregnant, whether it's from the male side or the female side, the quality of that egg can be completely terrible because of the influence of the chemicals in your neighbor, in your household, in your environment. And so therefore your fertility is affected. Abnormalities in sex organs. So many times a fallopian tube is not functioning the way it should. The ovary isn't functioning the way it should. The uterus has problems. The cervix has problems linked with some of these chemicals. Endometriosis. One of the most major, there are a couple of them, major chronic diseases in the female reproductive system that are highly influenced by inflammation as well as hormonal problems. And endometriosis, there are so many studies that have shown that this is linked with some of these endocrine disruptors that are in our surroundings and in our lives. Early puberty. Did you know that puberty is steadily becoming so much earlier in our young girls and young boys? Back in the days, and I'm going to say back in the days, it was really probably like 5 to 10 years ago, the average age of puberty was 12. And then it became 11. And then it became 9. And now we're moving towards 8 years old. Can you imagine an 8-year-old young girl having to deal with all of the changes that comes with menstrual cycles, trying to understand that, trying to keep track of that, having to deal with bleeding and pain, and at 8 years old, a tender age of 8 years old. This is a part of the reason why we're moving in that direction. All of these chemicals in our foods and around us affecting our reproductive system. Altered nervous system function. Our nervous system, this is our brain and spinal cord. This is like the heart of what controls our bodies and our beings. And this is being influenced when you see Parkinson's disease and dementia happening so much earlier. You would think with all the technology, medical studies and research and information, we should be in an age right now where we're medically more educated than our parents were, our ancestors, But yet we're seeing a decline that's happening like devastatingly over the new generations and the generations, the baby boomers, those who are going into their final stages of life. And they're going in the wrong direction. Instead of lifespan really increasing, in some areas, we're having a complete reverse of that. And we're having all these diseases happening earlier. And so our nervous system being under attack, our immune function. How often are we getting sick? How often are we getting colds? How often are we having so many different immune issues? Our immune system is weak. The more that we are surrounding ourselves by these things, we're becoming weaker individuals over time. Certain cancers, especially in the female reproductive tract, we're talking about uterine cancers. I can't tell you how many people, even in their 30s, that I've diagnosed cancer, uterine cancer, things that really should not happen until later on in your last decades of life, happening in young people. Breast cancer, the same. Ovarian cancer, the same. Cervical cancer, the same. We're seeing an increase in all of these things. And there's more. Respiratory problems, breathing issues, COPD, asthma, pulmonary issues, a ton. Metabolic issues, especially in the nature of having metabolic syndrome. We're talking about having problems like diabetes, hypertension, a combination of those together with being obese and overweight. Obesity is another one. Cardiovascular problems, those are heart issues. Again, I mentioned the heart working so hard on our behalf from 5 weeks in utero till now without a break, struggling because of these hormones. Neurological and learning disabilities. And we're seeing that more and more in the young children growing up now, that they're having a lot more learning issues. And while we're still researching all of this, more information is coming out, and I'm glad for that. Every time we do more research and we find more information, if you ask me, it's a win. I told you all earlier in this week when we started these sessions that I do bench research. I have patents out for different kind of drugs and things that are in the making. And so I understand and respect research, but we've got a lot more to do. And if we can help from the government side, wherever you live, wherever you are, to make a difference and to make sure that our leaders are advocating for us as well and our beings and our bodies, it would help. So be careful and be very, participate in voting. That's all I'm going to say there. Okay. Really kind of help each other by selecting good leaders to help us and to protect us. So we're going to dive into our first set of giveaways now, because we have a few of them. So we're going to put a little pin right there. We're going to come back to this conversation. But before that, we're going to give away a set of organic sanitary pads and tampons. Okay. And so Jazz, let's come on in and let's select our winner here. Okay. Kayanti, good to see you. Denise. Okay.
Hey, everybody.
There you go.
How's everybody doing?
Wonderful over here.
Right?
So let's jump on in.
All right. So I hope you guys have been learning a lot from Dr. P. She has so much more to cover. So first of all, hey guys, hey, y'all know my name. So first of all, I just kind of want to touch bases on one of the things that Dr. P said. She's at the very beginning of this, she said, the information that she shares today, she really wants us to go out and share it with our loved ones and share it with as many people as possible, because it's truly life changing, right? This is the information that can truly help your sister or your brother or whoever, you know what I mean, from developing, some of the sicknesses and diseases that Dr. P mentioned. So my question for this giveaway tonight is, who are you going to spread this information to and why? Tell me who you're going to give this to and why you think that person or persons needs this information the most. Let's talk about that. Let's get into it. And while you guys are typing up yours, I'm going to tell you personally, outside of my immediate family, which would be my children and my husband, I have also been spreading this information that I have learned from working with Dr. P to my father and my younger brother. My younger brother has 5 children just like me. And so I think and actually we're kind of the opposite, where I have 4 boys and 1 girl. He has 4 girls and 1 boy. So we're kind of the opposite in that way. So I think it's very important for him, being that he has a lot of young ladies, that have to deal with, periods and tampons and, like all the products and everything, that he definitely knows this information, right? And then my father, I kind of just got a soft spot for him. That's daddy. I'm daddy's girl. So that's kind of why I'm told him. So let's get into these comments and see. She said, everyone I can, because I feel everyone needs to know. I 100% agree with that right there. Already been sharing with my coworkers daily. Oh my God, Andrea, that is amazing. My daughters, because they are so used to certain cleaning products and wouldn't believe the negative effect. You know how many times I got to tell people the bleach is what the problem is. And I love bleach. I love walking into a house and it smells like bleach, but then I just be like, you probably shouldn't be using that, but I love it though. My family, friends, and coworkers, all of which have symptoms, include indicating hormonal imbalance. That is amazing. Yes, I definitely think sharing it with as many people as we can come across, especially everything that we've been learning the last couple of days, right? It's probably getting a lot easier to see now, like, oh, you might need this information because this is what Dr. P was talking about yesterday. Or you're saying you're dealing with this. Let me tell you what Dr. P said. I 100% agree with that. Most definitely to my daughters and my mother, because I'm pretty sure she doesn't know any of this info, because I asked her about my conditions and she couldn't tell me anything, and my doctor. So Rhonda, are you saying you're going to share it with your doctor as well? That would be amazing, right? I wonder what your doctor would actually say about that. So I think I would share it with my cousin who has lupus. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Bobby. I think that would probably be very beneficial for her, because the more we educate each other, we are changing the outcome of our present and our future. You know what, Teresa? You're 100% correct. I really think that is the key here, right? This is our future, and this is not only just our problem, but it's the future problem. It's the children's future generations and all of that. So yeah, I 100% agree with you, Teresa. And honestly, I think I'm going to pick you tonight as the first winner of the giveaway. Let me put your comment up on the screen, but I think I'm totally going to pick you tonight, Teresa. I really loved your comment. I really love that you're thinking about, past and future, not past, present and future. I mean, we probably should be looking at the past, because we probably wouldn't be where we are now, but that's another story for another day. So yes, I really loved your comment, guys. I really love this. Everybody's talking about who they're going to be sharing this information with. I dragged my girlfriend to the group, as you should, Netta, as you should. She better come on and be in this group. Where's she at? What her name? Let me pull her up. What her name? Tell me, Netta. Let me find her real quick.
So yes, congratulations, Teresa. Yes, please share that information with each other. We empower each other. And, I said also initially, like, I really, I feel as a provider that I really owe it to the community to be able to share this information and to learn and to look beyond what the textbook said. And that's my number one reason for doing this, right? And so the more that I can speak to you and you can share that information to other people, the better we will all be. And so I love the fact that you're being motivated and to share with others as well, especially your loved ones, right? Because when we love each other, we look out for each other, right? And so in my world, when I learned something, I was just like, what? Let me get on that phone and let me just tell everybody that I know, or anybody that I know will benefit from this information. So yeah, spread the word. Share this information with them. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Jazz. And so let's go ahead and let's continue with our our discussion today. Okay, so strategy number one. Okay, and so we're going to talk about steps. And so I know you're just like, okay, we're starting with the basics here, and yes, we are, because listen, we're not doing some of the basics well enough. Okay, and so I decided that as we're talking about the things that you're going to do and we're going to strategize, we're going to talk about 7 or 8 different things today that I really want you to be cognizant of, and really encourage others just the same. And we're going to start with washing our hands. We hear this, and I know you know it. Okay, excuse me. But it's really important because we're touching the things around us. And yeah, we know about the viruses and bacteria and the microorganisms that are around us. And we know that when we eat, something, and we have grease and dirt on our hands, that is obvious. But we also have these chemicals. We touch a bottle, we touch our phone and our phone cases, we're touching our chairs and desks, and there are chemicals that are within them that are also being stuck to your hands and your fingers. And so it is very important that we wash them, and wash them often. But the key here, yes, we know to wet our hands and apply the soap, and you want to lather, but you really want to rub your hands together for a minimum of 20 seconds. I should have highlighted this here, okay? Because in a 20-second period of time, that's how long it takes to actually remove these chemicals. So while you get to the bathroom and dirt comes off pretty quickly, you get there and you're washing, and the grease may come off pretty easily and pretty quickly. These chemicals that are around us, the doorknobs, different things, really takes at least 20 seconds of washing to be able to clean them off. And so I place this here as number one reminder to please wash vigorously, rub, and not just for 5-6 seconds, but aim for 20 seconds, okay? And of course, another bullet here that I want to highlight is that you want to dry your hands with a clean towel. We don't change our towels and our linens often enough. Sometimes we're using our bath towels for days at a time. We're going for 3-4 days. Some people will use the same towel for like a week or more. We really should be using a new towel every single day. It should be a one-time use into the wash. Get another one, use it, and put it in the wash. And so because of that, we're keeping these chemicals and substances on them. And so when you're cleaning your body and you say you just took a shower and you're drying off, you're reapplying those chemicals onto your body. And then as you leave your towels hanging up in a space, so say you have it hanging to air dry in your bathroom, in your bedroom, in your laundry room, wherever you keep that, the air is also filled with those chemicals. And we're going to go into that. And as the air is filled, you're building dust, and these chemicals are landing onto your towels. Then you take a shower the next day and you're reapplying them to your body, the place where you don't want them to be. You want to get them away from you. And so really, you want to use a clean towel every single time. And so the next strategy here, you want to dust and vacuum often. And so here's the reason why. Very similar to why we want to change our towels every single day accordingly. We know that the chemicals around us are linked with the disruptions in cancer. There's a lot of flame retardants that are in our whole household products. And so in the cleaning supplies that we're using, again, in the furniture that we have, flame retardant chemicals are within them. And so research has shown that these chemicals that are in your electronics, your phone and your phone cases, the couches that you're sitting on, the chairs that you're sitting on right now, baby products that you use on your baby's skin. And what happens is that they're released into the air. So small particles of these chemicals that are dangerous for us are being released into the air. They're falling on your carpet, your towel, your body, your clothing that is just exposed. They're falling all over. And so with that, they're collecting in dust So wherever you see dust in your homes, there's a lot of chemicals in that dust. And so if we're frequently dusting and vacuuming, we're getting that outside of our air, and we're trying to clear all of that out as often as you can. Super important. Now, what would be really nice, okay, is if we can buy flame retardant free household products. That means we're getting products that does not have any flame retardant. It is one of the greatest chemicals that we can find in our household that disrupts our systems, disrupt our bodies, disrupt our hormones. And so if you can purchase things that literally state flame retardant free, that would be amazing. And that comes down to even our couches or chairs, rugs. And sometimes it takes a little bit of an extra research, and it could be a little bit extra money. So I completely understand when you may not be able to purchase those, but use a vacuum with a HEPA filter in it. And so with that, it's clearing in and it's trapping the air and everything that's coming in, trapping it inside of the vacuum so that it's not being released any further. So you want a HEPA filter. And in general, a HEPA filter in your home is great because as your air is circulating and all of that, it's going to grasp and grab all of these things and filter out all the bad things. So you want to go that direction if you can. Same thing with your vacuums. And so my first challenge for you today is a tough one, okay? But the easy part is to keep our house clean by dusting with a damp cloth, okay? So if we're using something dry, essentially you're reactivating the dust that was on that area that you're trying to clean into the air again. And so that's not going to be any good, right? So you want a damp cloth to be able to trap, hold, and remove the dust that we're trying to get rid of, okay? And use a vacuum with a HEPA filter. So that's the easiest thing that we can do, that everyone can do. Every single person here today can do this in your household. Now, the harder part of this challenge is if you do have the budget, you can purchase those flame retardant free household items. And so with that, I'm going to give you some examples as well in a couple of slides, okay? But the next strategy, okay, and this one, ooh, people, I'm going to say that this one gets a lot of people. I think if I think of all the things that people become most unhappy about, is saying no to fragrances, okay? But this is probably one of the most important thing. We are spraying and putting these chemicals onto our skin. Do you know that our skin is the largest organ in our bodies? And if you think about it, your heart hurts, you don't like that, you want to do something about it. If your kidney hurts and you know that it hurts, you feel that pain and you want to fix it. The same thing with our uterus, right? You have pain, you have cramping, bleeding, and it comes with pain, you want to fix it, you want help. Our skin doesn't get as much care and attention as it should. And a part of that is that it silently deals with all the things that it comes in contact with, the things that we place on it, and it just deals with it until it becomes a problem. So we want to remove the fragrances from our skin. Stop placing them on there. Most of these products that we're using that says fragrances of any kind are vanilla flavored and lavender and strawberry and they're all a ton of ingredients that we know for sure. The government has even proven this. They're linked with disrupting our hormones and causing cancer. But again, they are available right here in our stores, on our markets, and our so many manufacturers are able to just do whatever they want without anyone really caring about them. You may have heard of phthalates. That's another one that is high on that list of chemicals dangerous to our system, but yet they're everywhere. And so if you look at your labels, I really want each and every person here to really get into the habit of taking things, picking them up, and reading the label. Turn to the back, look at that ingredients list. Read the fine details. And so let's not just, purchase something because we heard it was good. We want to take a pause and read, and to make sure that none of these chemicals are incorporated in them, so that we're not hurting our systems in the back end. And so check those ingredients. Find safer ways to freshen the air, to clean your home, to wash your clothing, all of that. But more so, we want to remove all of anything that says a fragrance on it. Okay? If it says, whether it's a perfume, yes, that includes perfume. Deodorants, it includes deodorants. Everything that you use to wash your dishes, wash your clothing, it incorporates all of those things. And so we want to remove them altogether. The crazy thing, or the most interesting thing here, is that these fragrances that makes things just smell good, they're actually not causing the products that you're using to work better. Literally, they're there for aromatics, right? To make something smell better. And so, do we need that? Do we want things to be clean, or we want things to smell good? And you probably want both, because we're used to that. This is the culture in the world that we live in, that we do this. But really, you want to clean things, and you don't want to have those extra fragrances there, because they've been proven to cause cancer, but yet they're still around us. And so you want to be mindful of that. So the second challenge for you today, this one is hard too. And listen, I know this. If in my stores, in my attic, I had so many different types of perfumes. Oh, I loved it. I wouldn't leave home without a little bit of perfume here and there, put it on my wrist, and you got to smell good, right? And now for years, I don't use anything with a scent in it. Zero. Not on my body, not in this one body that I have. You only live once. I'm going to take care of it. So I don't do it anymore. So I want you to challenge yourselves to choose fragrance-free creams, moisturizers, cleaning products, laundry detergents, anything that you buy that's a product in the store. There is an alternative that you can select that doesn't have these chemicals in them. And so, because I get this question a lot, here are 4 of my top picks when it comes to, or some of them. There are so many more. So if you have more questions about different things, I can always post in our group like other options that may be good. But all of these are in my home right now. Okay. And so on the left, Pretty Frank, this is a deodorant. Okay, aluminum free, phthalate free, cruelty free, chemical, all of these bad chemicals free. Okay, and works marvelously. And I say that because so many people have said, well, listen, Dr. P, I've tried to use so many different types of deodorants, and I haven't found one that actually keeps me stable and not smelling throughout the day. And Pretty Frank, my favorite, works very, very well. Okay. The second one there is this Himalaya toothpaste. Okay. Same thing. Okay. So you can still clean your teeth. You can still have even flavors in them, but these are not with the chemicals that are linked with hormone disruptions. Okay. Excellent choices. Okay. Laundry detergent, Ecos, is an excellent brand. Okay. And yes, some of them will have scents, but they're not fragrances that are dangerous to you. And again, read that ingredient, read the label, because it will tell you all that information. It's not having the flame retardants and that you find in your Tide. Oh, I used to love Tide. I was like probably one of the greatest support. I love when Tide went on sale. Like, it's over. Loved it. No more. I love my life better. Okay. So have to make those changes. Simple Green, this is for cleaning. And so you can still have very strong cleaning agents in your home that is not going to hurt your body and hurt your system. And Simple Green is a great option there. Okay. So I gave you a few here. And if you have more questions, or, you would like some more ideas, you let me know. Okay. So very good. Let's go on now to our second giveaway today. Okay. And so we're talking about removing things around us, but we're going to talk about, or we're going to give away now a few bottles of good stuff for down there, okay, that are vitamins and supplements in that nature. So let's have Jazz come on in and let's pick a couple of winners here. We can probably do two or three.
Okay. Ooh, Dr. P. All right, guys, I am back. Happy to see you guys again. So, for this giveaway, what I am thinking, so Dr. P likes to do in her mastermind, she likes to do what is called a me moment. And let me explain what that is. So, a me moment is a moment that you've had so far in this boot camp where you really learned something or really changed your life or really motivated you or it really just was like, oh my God, I can't believe, right? It's a me moment. So, if I want to know about your me moment, I want to know what so far has just really rocked you to where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't know that. I can't believe that I just found this out. Whatever that looks like for you, tell me your me moment in the comments right now. I'm going to tell you for me now, I've been working with Dr. P for a while, but when I originally first started working with her, I would say my me moment was learning about the products. Cause like I said earlier, y'all, I love a bleach. I love a bleach. Okay. Comment, like I love it all. And so when I was learning that, you know, these products had these chemicals and things, and I literally went, she wasn't even done talking. And I went underneath my kitchen sink and threw it all away. Okay. Threw it all away. I was just like, I guess we got to go shopping tomorrow. I'm hitting up Target tomorrow. Right. So I really think that was my biggest like aha moment, if you want to call it, even where it was just kind of like, oh my God, like I'm killing my family trying to keep us healthy and clean. Right. Like twisted. Mine was blown by that. Okay, let me start reading into these. When I found out about the notebook, honey, now I will say all my children got eczema, so I haven't smelled good in about 12 years because that's how old my oldest is. I haven't been able to have any good smelling soaps, deodorant. Well, I use all natural deodorant anyways, but soaps and laundry detergents and none of that. I can't have none of the good stuff. Okay. Oh my God. My me moment was the fragrance because I feel like for a lot of like us women, that's gonna be like a huge point of it, right? Because it's just kind of like you said, you like smelling good. It makes you feel feminine, right? You spray on your perfume, you got your lotion, you know, it makes you feel just like that extra oomph. So trying to figure out a new way, you know, to still feel that is going to be a little difficult for sure. The products for sure. Everything else I researched myself when I was trying to get pregnant with PCOS and endometriosis. Okay. I wasn't aware about the flame retardant chemicals and chemicals in cleaners. Y'all, I can't read. I'm sorry. I have 2 cabinets to empty. When I tell you that's what I did. Okay. My me moment is learning the importance of things that I have been using for years, have been doing me harm than good, more harm than good, and learning longevity. Exactly. I 100% am just like, wow. The biggest one being the connection between how picky I am with my hair care. But I don't say it again, Netta. Say it again, okay? Because be quick to read all the ingredients when it comes to that natural hair care, right? Be quick to I'm not putting the sulfates in my hair. I'm not putting the parabens in my hair. But I'm gonna grab that bottle of bleach or that Clorox or that Comment or that whatever, and not think twice about it, right? Oh my God, Netta, you know what? You're gonna be winner number 1, okay? Because I love this. Because we here 100% agree with that one. Let's keep going. Let me see, what does this one say? My moment was when she said how much about what our parents do when we were in the womb affect this one. You know what? Connie, I really agree. I really feel like this one was another moment for me, right? Because as a mom of 5, right now I'm thinking back like, dang, did I mess my kids up? Probably, probably, because I ain't know any better, right? But that is really like just mind blowing for sure. 100% agree there. Never heard of the flame retardant chemicals as well. Definitely going to watch what I'm picking up now. My me moment was day 1 session, the list of items that cause high level of estrogen dominance. I suffer with all of those listed. Oh my God, yeah. When she was going through that, I was like, oh, okay. I actually have a couple of these. No one will recognize me in the halls at school now. They know it's me because they say they can smell me before. That's funny. That's funny. I had a teacher like that in high school. Let me see. I got to pick one more person, guys. Let's see, guys. I wasn't aware about the flame retardant chemical retardant. I think I already read yours. Yeah, you said you had 2 cabinets of full. The products for sure. Everything else, the cell phone. You know what? I don't even think I heard her mention. See, I must have got up and got some water. I don't even think I heard her mention the cell phone. Y'all tell me what Dr. P, what did you say about the cell phone? Now, I mean, I've heard that it has radiation, so maybe that's what you get. Dang, I didn't even think I heard that one. Okay, let me pick one more. Letting go of, oh, okay, you know what, I think honestly I'm gonna go with Connie, because I really did like your comment and I connected with it a lot. Like I said, being a mom of 5, I really did. I'm gonna go with your comment, so you will be winner number 2. Congratulations to Connie and Netta tonight, this evening. Congratulations, you guys. You get the, let me show you guys what, so these I think it was, your comments blocking it, that's why you can't see it. There it is. This is what you guys are winning, these vitamins, these vaginal health vitamins. So congratulations, you guys. We're gonna see. Let me see. Oh, there she is. Hey, Dr. P.
Hey, yes. And so, I love the fact that I have to do a complete overhaul. I know, listen, as Jasmine said, we all had to do this at some point, right? But we learn better, we do better, right? So we don't want to stay in a very like ignorant state. When you don't know something, it's not your fault. Like, it's literally not your fault. Whatever is done is done. But once we learn, we apply, we do better. And so that's why we're here. Okay. And so very, very good. Yes, these Let Me Purr vaginal health gummies. And so today, a lot of the things that we're giving away really are things that we're promoting. I'm promoting our bodies being in a healthier state and things that we can do to help with that, especially in the vaginal world. If you've followed me for a while, I'm just all about the vagina and our pelvis, and it makes me excited because we want to be able to support our vaginas, our most intimate spaces, and support them well. And so with the first prize, with the natural organic tampons and pads, things that we're putting right next to our vulva, super important to me that we get rid of the chemicals, right? You want things that don't have these bad chemicals in them. The same thing with these vaginal health gummies. And so just to help it down there without having the bad stuff down there. And so they've been clinically proven to help that vaginal space. And so congratulations to you all for now getting yourself your own bottle of vaginal health gummies, and I hope you love them. All right. And so very, very good. Let's move on over. I think I'm just so excited. I'm glad we're learning. Like, it just excites me too much, probably a little bit too much, but we're going to move on here. And so next strategy, think twice about plastics. Oh, yes, the plastics. This was another one. Growing up in a very poor household, we had disposable plates left and right. It was just like a lot easier, right? We didn't have like a dishwasher, and if we didn't have to go and wash dishes and get our mom upset, then we didn't want to. And so we'd use that plastic stuff. So a plastic foam plate. We would get the same with our plastic utensils, and I mean, it was just everywhere. We store our foods in these plastics. We have our waters and the different things around us. They all have chemicals. They all are filled with these chemicals. And so we're wrapping our foods with plastics, putting things like our conditioners when we're going for traveling and we want to get our little 3 ounces on the flight. And what are we doing? We're putting our products in those little plastic bottles, right? Very easy to find. You get them in Target, in the travel area, everywhere. Encasing our phones. A lot of these cases that are out there are made with the same chemicals that each and every time we're having that up against our cheeks, on our skin, as I mentioned, right? On our skin, guess what? Your body is absorbing that. Your ears, your cheeks, your face, absorbing all of those chemicals. And these plastics, I listed a couple here. Okay. And so I have a guide that lists a lot, like all of the chemicals. And so in my mastermind also, we work together. We get every single facial product, makeup, and everything. And we look for these specific chemicals and I give them to you by name. Like you look out for these, you keep it starred under your gallery on your phone to be cognizant of them. So when you're finding your products, that they're not incorporated in the ingredients. And so some of them are listed here, okay? PC number 7, PVC number 3. These are in shatterproof plastic. So a lot of times when we're getting like the cases for our phones, they're incorporated in there, disrupting our hormones, causing us to have cancer and being exposed to cancer, causing changes in our bodies. And so they have BPA. Yes, you want to be BPA free wherever you can. Flexible vinyl. They all have these phthalates. Phthalates are just bad. We want to get rid of them. Please get rid of them. And so you want to opt for glass containers. Okay, so get rid of every plastic. You're bringing food to work, snacks for the kids, storing your fruits and vegetables in the refrigerator. Get rid of all the plastic and switch everything over into glass. Okay, glass containers all the way. Don't store your food in the refrigerator in these plastics as well. And never, ever microwave your food in plastics. So when you're going to like a fast food area, you're getting food, your Chinese food, you're going to restaurants and takeouts. I love when I go to a restaurant for takeout and they actually did not serve me my food in plastics. I'm just like, I just love it. Love you. Thank you for caring about my health. Do the same as well. Get your foods from places that care about you. And so with that, switch everything over into glass. If you need to heat your food because it was in the refrigerator, you go ahead and you put your food onto a glass plate or in a glass bowl and you heat your food with that. Now microwave, that's a whole nother story. Microwaves are not good for you either. But we don't have enough time to talk about the problems with microwaves today. So we're going to put that on the side. But if you choose to go that direction, at least warm your food in glass containers. Replace plastic baggies for reusable lunch bags. They exist. And so, yes, you can get those. Replace your plastic cling wrap with a beeswax coated cloth instead. Okay. And you want to choose like hardwood blocks and cotton baby dolls over the plastic ones. The plastic ones are everywhere. They're a lot cheaper. But these are ways, when my dad didn't want me to play with dolls and things like that, I really think it was for other reasons. But I thank him for that because I'm just like, well, thank you for not giving me these plastic baby dolls, because each and every time I'm here playing and combing their hair and doing all these things, you're touching, ingesting, and these kids, babies and young girls and boys, they put everything in their mouths. They're just getting all these chemicals in their system that is resting inside of their reproductive system from young, before they're even ready to use their reproductive system. It is being damaged by these things. And so hardwood blocks, cotton baby dolls, best options. And so when you have the Bratz dolls and all the good looking ones, and they're just like, yes, they're so appealing, right? As soon as they walk in the store, they want this and they want that. Just be careful in the options that you're selecting for your children. And so challenge number 3, swap your plastic food storage containers with glass or stainless steel, okay? Stainless steel. And so it comes down to even the things that you're cooking with, okay? But we're going to get back to that too. Next strategy, say no to cans. No cans. 0. No canned corn. No canned peas. Canned lima beans. Canned 1,000 different things that are out there. Canned, most cans are lined with BPA. This helps them to preserve the foods to not corrode over time. Most of these cans you can keep for many, many years, right? And so in general, if you think about the fact that your food can stay preserved for that many years, what are they doing to the foods and the cans to be able to allow your food to be preserved for that long? They're unhealthy for you. So even when the cans say they are BPA free, they're using a chemical that might not be BPA, but it's very similar to it and it's still doing a very similar damage. So sometimes we're thinking mentally that we're doing a good thing. We're doing a good thing. We're avoiding that. They have not been proven to be safer. And if anything, they've been proven to still cause us issues. And so all, in the Journal of Environmental Health Perspectives, this is where we get a lot of information about the environment around us. And so, yeah, so a recent study said, these are not proven to be safer. So just stay away from the cans altogether. So when you're choosing your fruits and your vegetables and foods, fresh, frozen, and dried are the best options you can go for. And so anything that's not packaged in a can, okay, is a better way to go. Okay. Next strategy, okay, watch what you eat. Okay. We've been talking about food just about every day here. There are certain pesticides, okay? These are the chemicals that are placed on your foods to prevent, to help them to grow and to prevent other animals from like eating them and destroying the fruits and the vegetables and all of that. They're linked with hormone disruption, okay? And you want to go for eating as organic as you can, as much as you can afford, okay? Because it's expensive, okay? It's very expensive. As a general rule of thumb, try to say you want to eat food as close to whole as possible. So when we're thinking about whole foods, you want to have like a roasted chicken is better than chicken nuggets, right? As an example. So you want to get to the whole food. And so you also want to consider when you're preparing your food, you want to consider the types of pots that you are using to prepare your food, because they can be just as damaging to your body and to your system. And so in general, you want to cook in stainless steel. So get rid of all the pots that are non-stick and they have all of these different coatings that are available. Cast irons are good as well, but you want to, outside of that, you should not be cooking, frying, baking in anything else but these two. Okay. And so let's go to our third giveaway today. We will be giving away a set of stainless steel pots. Okay. And so let's bring Jazz back, because we're promoting your health. We're promoting you making your food as healthy as you can without these chemicals. And so we are giving away this cookware set now. So Jazz, come on in.
Hey guys, are y'all tired of seeing me yet? I know y'all like, this is the most we've seen her all week. Hey guys. All right. We are giving away a stainless steel set, as Dr. P had already mentioned. And again, that's because we are promoting your health. We are promoting clean, healthy eating. And we want to make sure that you're able to do that with the proper utensils, right? So for this question, I am going to ask you, if you were to win this, what would you cook? What's the first thing, knowing now what Dr. P has told you about how to cook, how much protein, how many vegetables, what fruit we can and cannot have, knowing all of that stuff, what's your meal? What's your first meal as soon as you get this box at your door? Tell me what it is that you would cook. I know for me, I've started incorporating more. I try to do like a new vegetable a week. Like I just tried bok choy. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right. I just tried bok choy the other day, and I cut it up and kind of made like this vegetable spaghetti situation with it, and it actually wasn't bad. I was really proud of myself. It actually wasn't bad. So that is probably something that I would make again, because I really liked it, even though I kind of just made something up on the spot. So tell me, what is it that you would be cooking in this stainless steel set if you were to win it? I'm going to start with stir fry, because Alicia, that's one of my favorite dishes, okay? I love a good stir fry. I be trying to cook it for my kids, but they ain't going for it. They some haters. That's okay, though. Steamed vegetables and salmon, because I love salmon. Put it on the grill, and I just love it. Okay, what else we got? Roasted chicken and veggie pasta with pesto. I love pesto. You know my 2-year-old is allergic to pesto. That makes me so sad. I haven't had it in a long time. Salmon, cabbage. I love salmon so much. Oh my God, salmon is. When I say put it on the grill, did I say that already? Because put it on the grill. That's all I'm gonna say. And you got to put it on the grill on the wood. You can't just put it on the grill. Get you a wooden plank and smoke it. Whatever you do when you put it on the plank and you get the plank wet. My brother does this whole situation. I can't. It's so good. It's so good. Spaghetti with zucchini noodles. Oh my God. Do you know that I love zucchini noodles? They're like one of my favorite things. And I actually went and bought one of those you stick it's a spiralizer. There it is. My husband's in the background telling me what it's called because he uses it more than I do, but that's all right. All right, so let's see. Let's pick a winner. Let's see. Roasted chicken and veggie pasta, baked chicken. If I was to win, it would make me cook. You know what? I felt this because before I had kids, I never really cooked. I felt this. You know what, Tarsha? I'm gonna pick you. You are the winner of the cook set because I need you to start cooking. I need you to eat healthier, and the first step in that is actually cooking, right? So we are gonna pick you for the winner tonight for this stainless steel crock set or cook set. I can't even talk. This is what happens when you get nervous. I apologize. But anyways, congratulations to all of the winners tonight. I'm so excited for all of you. But also congratulations to you. Make a really yummy meal, okay? And post it in the group. I want to see what you cook. I got to see what you cook.
Tarsha, I hope you have fun while you're making this meal, okay? It's so funny. Is when I saw the comment as well, I was like, yeah, Tarsha, we will get you started. So so it's funny because you actually selected her and I saw the comment. I'm just like, it sounds like we really want to get her to the kitchen. So yeah. We're thinking alike here. Okay, very, very good. Congratulations. And I hope you enjoy the cookware set as well. And so the goal here, yes, we want a tasty meal, but we want a healthy, tasty meal at the same time. So congratulations. Super exciting. And so we're going to wind down with a few more things tonight. Okay, I feel like we've talked about a lot. We've learned about a lot. And so just a couple more left to go today. Some strategies that I want you to kind of throw in there. And so the next one is filtering your tap water. Okay. So I have friends who would prefer to have tap water as is. Like they actually don't want it filtered. Don't filter it. Just turn on the faucet and just pour me a cup. Like fill me up. And I'm just like, no. Let's have a little conversation. Let's sit down and let's talk about that because most tap water has a lot of chemicals and none of them are good for us. Okay. And so though in general, if you drink your water out of a glass, that's better because it's reducing the amount of BPA that's in your water being entered into your water from the container that is in. So that's a good start. Okay. We'll take it. However, they also depend, regardless of where you are in the United States, around the world, there you have the potential of having all these hormone disruptors in the water that is tapped. And so, there was a recent study that said that they find the residue from birth control pills in tap water. And I still can't grasp my mind around how the residue from birth control pills, which really should have been taken by somebody, but if someone's throwing these out, how do we get from the trash to my tap water? I'm still trying to get it. I'm still trying to understand it. But that is to tell you that there are chemicals that are arriving in our tap water, regardless of where we live. And it's coming from things all around us. And it's very, very sad. And so you want to filter your water. And so with that, running your water through, and it could be any kind of filter, right? And so it could be the type of filter that is in your actual refrigerator. So if you have one of those refrigerators that kind of keeps everything automatically in a system where you can just go ahead and get it filtered. You can have it in your faucet. You can actually install it as well. Or you can get one of these portable filters and you just add the water to it and you just kind of keep it in your refrigerator. However you go about doing this, it is completely okay. We just want to do something, okay? And so with that, we want to be very mindful. And when we go to someone else's home, when we go to a restaurant, if you can opt for water that is in a bottle, like filtered in a glass bottle, that would be the best option. Okay. Because a lot of times the water that is being poured in your glass when you sit automatically, is either tap or unfiltered water. Okay, so that exposure is still there. So that is the last strategy that I have for you for today's session. Okay, avoiding the slippery slope. And so call it the slippery slope because this is, once you start going down on this journey, you just keep going and keep going. And we've been on the slippery slope before we even realized, right? We probably just found out today that we're going down this slippery slope and had no idea. But once we know that this slope exists, this is where we put the brakes on and we say, hey, stop. We're gonna stop right here. And we're gonna do things a little bit differently. Okay. And so Jazz, can you just remove that banner real quickly? So, and I'm going to go back one slide here. So you want to absolutely, absolutely make these changes. And again, we're talking about a lot in these 4 days. I'm challenging you in so many different ways. I know it. I know it. I know it. But I want you to take this information back with you and start to incorporate these changes and challenge yourself a little more each day, a little at a time. And so eventually we'll be able to wrap it all up together and make it make sense. Okay. And so excellent, excellent, excellent. Can I boil my tap water? We're going to start taking some of the questions here. Okay. And so can you boil the tap water? Yes. What are you boiling it in? Number one. Okay. Are we using the microwave to warm it? What are we warming it in? Okay. And so while some of the chemicals and bacteria, so heat is really, really good when it comes to killing bacteria and things. And so if there's a virus in your water, things like that, you'll be able to eliminate that, but the chemicals you will not eliminate. Okay. Which is why you want to actually remove them. So these filters that you have, literally, they're supposed to be trapping these chemicals and removing them. So when you pour your water, it's no longer in there. When you are warming and heating and boiling it, even on the stove, you're actually still heating the chemicals in that water. And so heat is not going to get rid of them, but it will kill bacteria and all of those other things. Okay. So very, very, very good. Let's take some questions here. How do we clean our white clothes without bleach? So, Jazz, what are your thoughts here? What did you do when you kind of replaced your bleach?
I started using white vinegar, which actually seems to work really, really well. And it also helps keep the washing machine from getting a lot of buildup. In, I don't know if you, and I'm weird, but I watch all kind of YouTube videos where they show like having to take apart their washing machine because it's gotten so much laundry detergent buildup. So to wash your washing machine, you're supposed to just run it with white vinegar and be done with it. But you can also use white vinegar to wash your white clothes as well and just wash them on hot. So that's what I do. And it seems to be working okay.
Awesome. So good answer. Good question. Alicia, excellent. Let's take another. Is it okay to drink water from the refrigerator fountain? So if it is a filter, and so you want to know what type of refrigerator you have, what kind of filter is on the inside. So you want to make sure that they're not just redirecting the water from your faucet or from your pipes into the refrigerator and not being filtered. And so as long as you know that there's a filter system, and usually with a filter system, you'll have to replace that filter over time. And so with refrigerators, especially the more modern ones, sometimes it could be once a year that you will need to change that filter, but your refrigerator will let you know. So you want to kind of look at the model that you have and check to see if it has a filter incorporated in it. And if it does, it's absolutely fine. If not, the same thing applies. So copper cookware. And so copper in general, when it comes to, if we had to list all the different types of cookware that's available out there. And so copper is like right next to stainless steel when it comes to the quality of cookware that you have. And so I would say it is a better option. Okay, so if you have a very, very nice copper set, it doesn't have as many potential chemical exposures. And so is it coated with anything? You want to kind of look in those ingredients. You want to really kind of look into the brand and to be sure that they don't have anything else added to the actual copper that's listed and that's present in the cookware that you have. And so just do a little bit of extra research in the brands that you have and what you're using. Excellent question. Can you recommend a good filter? You know what we'll do with this question, because there's so many different types that there are. What we'll do is that we'll list them in the Facebook group so that you can actually see in different kinds. So what we'll do, we'll give you recommendations based on the actual ones that you can pour and actually filter your water at home, and anyone can purchase these, and these are usually under $50 tops to get. And so we'll give you a couple of recommendations with that one. As far as the refrigerator and the types of filter with that I have to research, because I haven't listed a brand that I'll specifically say that is really good, but I'll take a look into that as well. And as far as other filters that I really like that you can actually install in your homes, these are like big, I don't want to say big bucks, but they're big jobs. But they're really, really well, because they can also create like alkaline water as well, which is also another great area that alkaline water can just add to your health. That's a different story. I can do a whole presentation on that alone, but you can incorporate a filtration system that also does that as well. And so we'll also link that in the group. Okay. Excellent question. What will a flame retardant free couch with the covers do the trick for the chemicals in the furniture? They actually help a lot, and they help because they are trapping the chemicals that normally gets released into the air. They're trapping them right below the covers, and so it is a great way to start. And so you keep them on there, you clean them on a regular basis, but that's a great option to start. And so especially if you have like a really nice set and you're just like, you can find these covers if they fit well to match the size couch that you have. And so yes, they do help for sure. Excellent recommendation though. Is it best to use a water machine like what is used in offices? They're not all a filtration system. And so depending on the type, some of them do connect into the water system of that office, and some of them are just the water jugs that you place on top. And so again, this is where research comes in, right? Because we don't know if there's an actual filter in the machines that are there. And so it's, while you're on your lunch break, just start Googling and look at the brand and look at the company, and they'll give you that information. And so if it's not mentioned, usually it's tucked somewhere in the information that they have on their websites about this, because in general, it should really be public information, right? They really shouldn't be hiding these things. They should actually have it somewhere. It might not be easy to find, but it's out there. So yes, aluminum-free deodorant is better. And that one that I tell you that I use, Pretty Fang, it is aluminum-free. Okay. And so when I initially learned about things like aluminum and avoiding them and things like that, I started doing some research, and I tried many different types of natural deodorants to be able to remove like aluminum free ones. And this one just works really, really well to protect you, to prevent you from smelling and having odors, and gives you can feel confident in it without feeling like you're missing the deodorants that you've used before. And so yes, it is aluminum free, and yes, aluminum free is better. Is a DIY whipped shea butter with essential oils a better option than scented lotions? And so in general, shea butter, like whipped, especially when it comes raw, great options, okay? Essential oils may not be from a place that doesn't have bad chemicals in them. And so when we're thinking about essential oils, we're thinking about the things that are they come with a lot of great smells. They have benefits in how they make us feel. It's those fragrances again. Most of those chemicals cannot be traced. Most of those chemicals also incorporate those bad fragrances. And so, for instance, all my skin moisturizing comes from raw shea. So I use the raw shea that just looks like blocks of shea. Okay, it just looks like blocks of like butter or something. Like there, it's not even whipped or smooth. Okay, but some of the people who make my whipped butter, because I don't have time to do all of that, and so I have them make it without the essential oils. And so they always make me a special formula that has no chemicals, no essentials, because a lot of times, again, think of it that most people are purchasing these fragrances and the things that they're whipping into their butters by bulk order, by cost, because when it comes to the business aspect of things, what's most important in general is being able to spend the least amount to be able to make the most. And so it applies across the board. And so what happens is that you end up using these chemicals and anyone can sell them, and these chemicals are just as bad. And so in general, when you think of what essential oils are supposed to do and be, I absolutely think that it's a great thought. It's a great thought process. It's a great idea. However, a lot of them are just bad chemicals. So yeah, so I don't recommend the use of those essential oils. Okay. Yes. So whipped shea butter, you can whip it up. Completely okay. Aluminum foil, don't recommend it. Okay. Don't recommend it. Spring distilled or alkaline. So if I had to choose between the three, alkaline. Okay. Alkaline all the way. Okay. In general, what happens with alkaline is that our bodies, what happens is that when we think of inflammation and chemical disruptions that are happening between our cells, what happens is that a lot of the foods and the things that we're eating cause our bodies to be in a very acidic state, more than it needs to be, more than what is healthy. And so when your water has become alkaline, they're adding more electrons to those individual water molecules and make them not as active. So the more active those electrons are in those molecules, they start firing and they touch things and they activate them, and they activate them a little bit too much. And so what happens with that, it causes a cycle of inflammation and too much activity. Whenever you're inflamed and you eat inflammatory type foods, literally it just means that it's super active. And so when things are super active over time, your system breaks down, because if you think about it as like a factory, if you are making a car and you're producing things consistently, when you ramp up that production, the likelihood of the system breaking down is increased. And with that, when that breaking down happens internally in our bodies, this is where we get cancers and diseases. And so you want to decrease that overactivity of your cells at any point in time. And so with that, alkaline and being in an alkaline state helps to decrease all that inflammation and all that activity that happens internally. And so if I had to choose one of the three, alkaline all the way. Is a humidifier good to purify your home? So a purifier is good to purify your home. Okay. A humidifier is adding moisture. Okay. It's taking away dryness from the air. It is adding moisture. It is not purifying your home. There is something called a purifier, and I have one of those as well. And it's a good start. Okay. A HEPA filter in your HVAC system, whatever you're using, if you are in a home where you can actually control those things, that would be a better option. But a purifier helps as well, because it purifies, it removes bad things from your air. And so if you have a really nice heavy duty purifier, it can work very similarly as a HEPA filter would. Have you done any research on Lume deodorant that is so heavily advertised and made by an OBGYN? No, I have not actually. So that's a good question. So Lume deodorant. And so I'm going to check that out. Whole body deodorant. So yeah, I'm gonna take a look at this loomdeodorant.com. I'm always excited to take a look at stuff and research and learn a little bit more because listen, I would be the one. Okay, this is the type of OBGYN I am. I would get that product, purchase it, and try it. And I always say I'll try anything once. I really would, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna smell it, and I'm gonna test it so that I can help everyone else to not go down a path that is not necessarily good for you. So I'm going to help you out with that. So I'm going to take a look and look into that. I'm very, very curious about it. So excellent. And it's for everywhere, for your pits, privates, and beyond. It does say that it's aluminum free, which I love. It's baking soda free, which I love. And it says skin safe. But to be skin safe really comes down to the ingredients. And what I realized as well is that you want to be sure that whenever brands are listing, like they classify certain chemicals as a group, like other chemicals, for instance, or other scents, you really want to know what those things are. And that's not good enough for my ingredients list. Like I need to know exactly what these things are. And so I'll take caution with that. But it says it's skin safe. I'll look into that a little bit further. Wait, go back. Oh, what was that last one? I think something about lemons. Would the oil of a lemon rind be okay? Is this for cleaning purposes? In general, yes. But I'm curious to know, Bobby, what you're kind of using that. Will juice from a fresh lemon alkalize um, alkalinize water? And it may. So the juice, if you add your juices and lemon, especially to water, and especially if you do this first thing in the morning and you have like a warm glass of water with lemons, yes, a lot of alkalinity to kind of help with your gut. And it's different because lemons is very citrusy and can be like more acidic, but it actually works in an alkaline fashion in our bodies internally, which is why, especially if you're trying to like lose weight, it's an excellent way to start your day every day. Just have a glass or a cup of warm water with a little bit of lemon in it. And you have that drink, and you drink that before you even start your day, and it really helps with your gut. It helps with decreasing belly fat. It helps with all of that. Okay, it helps to stabilize your system. So yes. Will you share who you get your whipped butters from? I can, absolutely. And so I get my whipped butters from two different people. And so one of them is on Etsy, and I'll share that into the group as well. So I'm just adding that to my notes so I don't forget. Okay, good. Okay, how about native deodorant? I've been using that since 2020 during the pandemic. And so let me open up another tab here. Native deodorant. Let me look into the ingredients list here. So it is aluminum free and paraben free. So very, very good. That's a great start. Naturally derived. Okay. Cruelty free and vegan. Love that. Okay. Born in the USA. Okay, cool. Well, let's see the real ingredients here. Okay. So it's taking a while to find them, but it is paraben free. So it's nothing extra added. Oh, simple and effective. Okay, just 6 ingredients. Where are they? Here you go. Okay, so alcohol denatured, dipropylene glycol. So water, fragrance. So it says that the oils that they use, they're sustainable and natural extracts. all free of phthalates. So I'm glad that they give at least that information there, so that it tells you that they're trying to create a product that's beneficial, an ozone friendly natural propellant that, okay, very good. And so capric triglyceride is fine. And so far the native, I'm glad they're very, very open with their ingredients, and it's a very few ingredients there. And so it's a good start. And so even with the dipropylene glycol, when it comes to skin, it's a good start. Okay. So I would give native a pass as well. It didn't break me out, but it also don't last all day. It did break my daughter out. Okay, so this is a follow-up to something. So let's go on to the next one. Have you seen videos about bleach baths for eczema? So it's interesting to hear we shouldn't use it. Yeah. And so, things can be very effective, right? So we can use products and things, and they work. They do what they say. Like whatever you were promised, you were getting those things, but they also come with the negative as well. Can we bathe in powdered milk? So Alicia, my question to you would be, what is the goal here? Okay, because a lot of things are coming onto the market that are supposed to make life 1,000 times better for us for some reason, right? And so what are you trying to accomplish by this, and what are you trying to get? So in general, when it comes to the vaginal space, we really want to keep things out of that space. So when you are taking a shower, you're taking baths, water can pass through your vaginal space and go internally. And our vaginas are very, very sensitive and very sensitive to everything. So what exactly is our goal? What are we trying to do with these items? Because when it comes to your bathing and your vaginas, we really want to protect our skin and do the least amount necessary to be able to maintain it. Our skin is a very, like I said, the largest organ, but it's a very smart one also. And it's really equipped as is to be able to care for itself and to do what it needs. And so you just want to get the bad stuff off. So I would say, what is the purpose of wanting to bathe in this? Any non-baking soda deodorant? Pretty frank. Good start. Okay. Very good. Bleaching creams. What do we need? We don't need to bleach. No bleaching creams. These are very, very strong chemicals, and our skin absorbs. Absorbs a lot. These chemicals are going right into your bloodstream, and guess where they're shipping to? They're shipping to your pelvis, your uterus, fallopian tube, your ovaries. It's been shipped into your systems. So no, we don't want to use any of these strong chemicals. And they are all, including that, linked with cancers. And so if any of you here have heard, and so I, in the making is a webinar on those like chemical relaxers. These are of like a very similar nature, right? Where we're having these very strong chemicals on our skin, and it's being absorbed into our system and going to our most sensitive areas internally and setting up shop for cancer. And it's a real thing. I used to talk about some of these chemicals and fragrances and things not to do a while back. And a lot of people just look at me like why? And so when all this new research started populating in the last year or two about these cancer linked carcinogens from our chemicals and the things that we're using on our skin and our hair, I'm just like, finally, it is actually making it to mainstream media. So we know that these things are dangerous for us. So no bleaching creams. Let's take a couple more. I heard soap should not be used on the vagina 100%. 150%. I could probably even put 1,000% on this comment, Alicia. Yes, soap should not be used on the vagina, and really soap should not be used on the skin. Okay, there's a lot of chemicals that are made into for a soap to be hardened and used on the skin over time. There are a lot of chemicals that are being put into this to make it happen. In general, the things that are actually clean in our skin are not hard. They have to put it into a formula with other chemicals to help it to be hardened. And so when I think of soap, I'm thinking about a bar of soap. Okay. When you're thinking of washes, I'm thinking about a liquid form. And so you want to opt, especially as females, for liquid form soaps, okay, or washes. And when it comes to the vaginal and vulvar space, we really want to opt for things that are as unscented, without chemicals, and light as possible, and wash your vulva with your hands. And so better than that is using water alone, just water alone down there, and that's it. Okay, let the vagina clean itself, let the vulva clean itself, and you'll be okay. I mean, can you advise any brands that don't use baking soda? Yeah. So Netta, if your first comment, was your first comment that you're allergic to baking soda, or that you responded? I feel like I remember you saying that you kind of responded to it, but Pretty Frank is one of them that doesn't use baking soda as well. Okay. So yeah, so you can try that. Okay. Oh yeah, so it burns your skin when used in deodorant. So yeah, so you can use a baking soda free option.
So,
So
so
yes.
Dr. P, sorry, that's why I jumped on. So I responded to her originally, and I told her that you mentioned Pretty Frank, and that this is her comment to that comment. So I don't think Pretty Frank works for her. So is there something else? Is what she's asking.
So you use Pretty Frank and it burnt your skin? So if you're still here, Netta, go ahead and respond. I can see it, okay? Dr. Bronner, I support using Dr. Bronner Connie. Yes. Okay, especially the unscented. And Dr. Bronner is actually really good for a lot of different ones. Yeah, so Pretty Frank is a good option that does not use baking soda as a base. Okay, so you shouldn't have a response to that. Like, you shouldn't have any burns chemically from that. So yeah, so sorry you had those chemical burns. I had a chemical burn last year, about a year ago, and it was terrible. It was just not fun.
That looks like all of the questions for tonight, Dr. P.
Good. Wonderful, everyone. It's been a pleasure. I love being here. I love being with you. Thank you for being attentive and learning, and for all your input and your sharing here. Again, let's continue learning. We're going to have a phenomenal session tomorrow as well. And so I'm actually going to jump on a little bit earlier tomorrow, and so we can take more questions. It's the last day of the challenge tomorrow. And so if there are any questions that you think about and you're just like, from day to day, you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure, I forgot, or something like that, you can just come on and join me tomorrow. And so probably about 15-20 minutes before we start our session, I'll be available for us to chat and answer your questions and your comments tomorrow. Okay, so come on over. We'll see you, if not, at 7 p.m. Okay, looking bright and bushy-eyed. And we're going to do it again for one more day together. And so thank you all for being here. And you have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Have a good evening, everybody.